Good. All right, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me? All right, fantastic. Well, on behalf of the entire Versatex team, thank you for being here this afternoon. We appreciate all the support. We're proud to be part of the Aliquippa community now since 2008, and as you can see today, continuing to grow. So thank you for all your support in that as well. Today, we're here to celebrate a significant expansion of our operations, which will essentially double our manufacturing footprint. Yeah, it's very exciting. The new facility, which is right down the road, will be complete in the next few months, and we look forward to inviting you back for the ribbon cutting and a tour of the operations. The expansion supports the economic growth, creates new jobs, and builds upon our current workforce, which is among the best in the industry, and strengthens our presence and engagement in the local community. So thank you for all being part of that. Our parent, the AZEK Company, also operates manufacturing facilities in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where we've invested approximately $60 million over the last several years in growth. This production capacity in Scranton is for TimberTech decking and AZEK siding and trim, some similar to what you'll see out here if you have the opportunity. So in total, AZEK employs 600 people in Pennsylvania, and we're proud to be part of the Commonwealth's rich manufacturing heritage and commitment to driving economic growth and sustainability. So thank you, Governor. So with that, I want to thank you, Governor Shapiro, Secretary Siger, Mayor Walker, Representative Matzey, and a list here of folks, and if I get the name wrong, forgive me, but thank you also to Representative Jim Marshall, Commissioner Dan Camp, Commissioner Tony Amadio, I got it right, thank you, Commissioner Jack Manning, thank you, Jack, and staff from Senator Vogel's office. So thank you. And with that, it is my distinct honor to introduce the Governor of Pennsylvania, a steadfast advocate for economic development and for being part of the great Commonwealth. Please join me in welcoming him, Governor Josh Shapiro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, thank you, and I'll give you this. I want you to stay hydrated, man. It's good to be with everybody here at Versatech, and let me begin, Scott, by thanking you for the kind words and thanking you for betting on Aliquippa, betting on Western Pennsylvania, betting on Beaver County, and locating this exciting company here that employs so many of our neighbors and is about to employ even more. And so we appreciate you for your commitment here. And let me echo my thanks to our local elected officials. You'll hear from Representative Matzey in a moment, but I want to thank Representative Marshall, who's been an important part of the progress that we're making in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, both as my time as governor, and we served together when I was in the House of Representatives. And I will tell you all, you're blessed to have these three commissioners working for you. As a former county commissioner, I know how important that role is. And I've had the opportunity to work with these three gentlemen in times of tragedy and crisis with train derailment, and in times of opportunity like what we're here celebrating today. And you got a great group working together for you, and we work together, and I appreciate you gentlemen in all that you do. So thank you very, very much for your leadership. I want to say it's exciting for me to be here at Versatex, not only because I'm a purchaser of your goods at our family home in Montgomery County, and by the way, it's holding up real well, so we're doing great. But because I wanted to come here today to salute you for calling Aliquippa home and to see you growing in the manner in which you are. Not only your building materials being used here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but all the way from Maine to Mississippi, we're seeing people all across America use your great products, manufactured right here in Western Pennsylvania, with the hands of nearly 200 workers here, and that number is about to expand. Today's announcement really is the beginning of the next chapter in this evolving story at this great company. And I'm really proud to be able to announce, with the support of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Versatex is investing $40 million more here at the Aliquippa Industrial Park to double their manufacturing capacity and to build out new product lines and expand existing product lines and create nearly 100 new jobs in this community. Those are our brothers and sisters. Those are moms and dads. Those are people who are the engine of the economy in this community. Those are people who can now put more food on the table, take their kids on vacation, whatever it is that they need to do, thanks to the vision of the great leaders of this company and thanks to the wonderful product that you're making. I think this is a big deal. And with this investment, Versatex will be able to produce more of its composite siding that'll be used in homes all across the country. Pennsylvania manufacturing making its way into people's homes all across Pennsylvania. And as a result of the hiring of these nearly new 100 people at this company, that's more people who are going to have dinner in our restaurants and go shopping in our stores and thrive right here in Western Pennsylvania. I don't want people looking elsewhere for economic opportunity. I want them to know it's right here in Western PA. That's what's possible when we invest in economic development, and why my administration, under the leadership of Secretary Siger, has worked closely with the team here at Versatex to be able to make this expansion possible, investing more than $4 million here of state resources between PETA loans, Pennsylvania First resources, and workforce training grants and tax incentives to make this project possible, together with the private sector capital they bring to bear. Representative Matzey and Mayor Walker, well, they know the impact an investment like this can have, and they fought for it every step of the way. They know how impactful and meaningful it is. And I want more companies, especially in this area, to know that we're open for business and to know that the Commonwealth is your partner, here to help with your expansion. That's why, under my leadership in the Shapiro Davis administration, we have developed the first economic development strategy that this Commonwealth has had in the last 20 years. Think about that. For 20 years, we put resources out there, but we didn't have a clear direction. We didn't have a clear purpose. We didn't have a clear understanding of where we're going. That has changed on my watch. Under our new economic development plan, we're leaning heavily into manufacturing. No longer should manufacturing be something we read about in the history books. This is our plan of action for the future, especially in communities like this. It's one of the key pillars of opportunity that I see, and we need to then focus our investments to expanding our manufacturing base here in Pennsylvania. One of the things we heard loud and clear as we were developing this strategy is that we need to develop more sites that are shovel-ready here in Pennsylvania, more sites where we can attract more companies to work with companies like Versatex that are here. Other states, well, they already have pads that are ready to go. Pads where you've got all the electrical hookups in place, the site prep is done, everything is ready, the water and other key infrastructure is there and ready to take advantage of. Pennsylvania, well, we don't have enough of those sites, especially in communities here in Beaver County or across Pennsylvania. And I want you to know we're losing out because our neighbors have been investing in sites like that for years. Ohio's invested more than $400 million in site development over the last 5 years. New York invests $200 million every single year. It's time we catch up in Pennsylvania. Listen, I'm competitive as hell. I want to win. But to win, we need to invest. And to invest, we need to invest smartly and wisely. And one of the smartest investments we can make is in sites. And I've got the data to back that up. Last year, as a result of our bipartisan budget agreement, we established a pilot project for site development through DCED led by Secretary Siger. Now, we only made about $10 million available, but we almost wanted to test the market to make sure we knew that there was real demand for this site development. Last month, we announced funding for 7 new site projects across Pennsylvania, including 3 of them here in southwestern PA. But I want you to know the demand for site development goes well beyond those 7 projects. Remember, I said we established it with a $10 million line item for this pilot project? Well, for that $10 million, we got $235 million worth of project requests. Why do I share that with you? Because the demand is there for more site development, especially in this community. There's a real need, and we've got to fill that gap. This community is ready, and other communities like it are ready. People want to see us invest. This is how we create jobs, and this is how we bring more manufacturing back to Pennsylvania. That's why the budget that I proposed 4 months ago, the lawmakers like Representative Marshall and Representative Matzey are now considering, includes not $10 million, but $500 million for site development all across Pennsylvania. These sites, they represent a whole lot of opportunity. They represent job creation in our community, and they represent real freedom in our communities. The freedom to be able to chart your own course and the opportunity to succeed. I see real power in the dirt that exists in communities like Aliquippa, dirt that can be turned into pads, pads that can be turned into economic engines that are manufacturing great products that we need more of here in Pennsylvania. That's what these investments are all about. Now is a moment for us to come together and get it done, to invest $500 million into site development and to create more jobs and economic opportunity. Let me close with this. I'm not here to talk politics. I know that there's people here with different political views. But all of us, I bet, agree that there's too much damn polarization in our politics today. Too many people that run in their corners and don't talk to one another. I'm trying to be a different kind of governor, where we bring people together to get stuff done. Consider this for a moment. I am literally the only governor in the entire country with a divided legislature. Seriously, the only one. Fun fact, there's only 2 divided legislatures in the nation. The other is the Congress of the United States, and they don't get a whole lot done in the Congress of the United States. But we get a lot done here in Pennsylvania. You know why? Because I understand that to do anything, to put points on the board, to get pads shovel ready, to expand a great company like Versatex, you need Democratic votes and you need Republican votes. And you know what? You need people to compromise. And too often times in our politics today, compromise is viewed as a dirty word. I think compromise is key to progress. And I'll tell you what, as we go forward considering this budget, here's one thing I can guarantee you. I'm not going to get everything I want. The House isn't going to get everything they want. The Senate's not going to get everything they want. But we are going to find ways to compromise, to come together. The budget I laid out 4 months ago that lawmakers are now considering, it's a balanced budget, it cuts taxes, and it invests really in 3 key areas: education, public safety, and economic development. Those are the 3 things that matter most. Whether you're in a rural community, urban community, suburban community, whether you're in a community led by Democrats or a community led by Republicans. Now, the budget I put forth, again, that cuts taxes, doesn't raise them. It is completely balanced. And in fact, right now is a time for us to invest. We've got a $14 billion budget surplus in Pennsylvania. That means over time, politicians have taken $14 billion more of your money than they've invested back in communities like Aliquippa. I want to make those investments, and hear me on this. I know we're going to compromise, but just for argument's sake, even if the legislature were to pass every single investment I proposed, we'd still have an $11 billion surplus at the end of it, and we'd cut taxes as part of that process. Why do I share all this with you? Because now is a moment where Pennsylvania is poised to take off. We are ready to go. We're ready to see more companies like this expand and invite new ones here to Pennsylvania. What we got to do is keep bringing Republicans and Democrats alike together to compromise, to make progress, to give people faith again that government can work, and to get them to understand that that level of coming together, that level of compromise, that's key to our success. That's the way I operate as your governor. That's the way this Republican representative and this Democratic representative have operated for years. That's why this community has gotten the return on investment that it's got. And that's what we need to see more of here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And that's what I'm going to be fighting for. More money for sites and economic development, better schools for our kids, safe streets to walk down, common sense stuff that I know we can get done together. So I want to thank you all very much for welcoming me back here to Aliquippa today and welcoming me here to Versatex. I really appreciate what's going on here. I'm excited for the expansion. Scott, I salute you and your members, your team members here who do the great work that you do every day. This expansion would not be possible but for the leveraging of private and public capital together. And on the public side, the leader of that effort for us has been Secretary Rick Seiger, the Secretary of the Department of Community and Economic Development. And it's my pleasure to welcome him to the podium now. Thank you all very, very much.
Well, thank you, Governor. It's terrific to be here. It's great to be back in Aliquippa. It's great to be back home in Western Pennsylvania. Honored to join the Governor and these distinguished guests for this announcement. One person we haven't mentioned, I just want to call out Donna Bates from our team at DCD. Donna was the project manager on this. Thanks for being here, Donna. So great job. You know, one of our key goals at DCED is to support businesses and grow the economy. No surprise there. But having Governor Shapiro at the helm means we're really doubling down, especially on our competitiveness to achieve that goal. We know Pennsylvania is a great place to do business, but we want to be more than that. We want to be the best place to do business, the destination of choice for companies like this one all across the world. Investing in a company like Versatex, which is creating nearly 100 jobs, injecting $40 million into this area's economy, is really about us planting a flag, showing that we are open for business as we engage with the national and the global business community. Of course, this company is no stranger to Aliquippa. This location that we're in now has been so successful, I think you just needed another one right down the road. And it's exactly the kind of company that we love to support in the Shapiro administration. Not just because it's the right thing to do to help grow jobs, but because good jobs like these help families succeed. Good jobs like these grow our tax base and enable local and county governments to provide better services. And good jobs like these mean that we can continue to attract and retain talent right here in Western Pennsylvania. But, as you heard the governor say, when it comes to choosing a site or a location for expansion, companies have lots of options. And that's why it's really vital for us to do everything we can at the Commonwealth level to ensure that Pennsylvania isn't always just one option, but it's the best option. And that's why we're so focused on having an arsenal of pad-ready sites available for companies. Put really simply, having great sites prepared and ready helps businesses move to market much more quickly. We need more pad-ready sites for growing companies, and that's why you heard the governor talk about his proposal for $500 million into the PA Sites program in this year's budget. That's a lot of money. It's a sizable investment, but I want to be really clear. We know the demand is there, and we know that this is the type of transformational, bold investment that our regions need and deserve. It'll help places like Aliquippa and places all across Pennsylvania be better equipped to compete and win for projects just like this. And it's a critical way that we're helping our government move at the speed of business. You know, as I wrap up here, I want to congratulate the Versatex team for your continued growth here. I want to congratulate this community and this region for your great strength in manufacturing that helps companies like this succeed. We're very proud to support this project. And please know that our door is open for your next expansion and the one after that too. So thank you so much. I want to just say one quick thing about the mayor, who I have the great privilege of introducing.
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
There's a lot of good things.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. The last event I did here in Aliquippa with the mayor, I remember well. It was one of my very favorite events I've ever done in this job. And it was the exit of Aliquippa from Act 47 distressed city status. And it was an emotional event for the mayor, for me, for everyone there, I think you would agree. And to come back here to introduce the mayor at a project celebrating job growth for an outstanding manufacturing company like this just seems like a great opportunity. And congratulations to you, Mayor, for helping to grow this community and attract companies like this one. Mayor Dwan Walker, please.
So I welcome you to LA. So those that don't know, that's lovely Aliquippa. I want to thank Mr. Rick Seiger, Governor Shapiro, for your support in this community. This 7.2 miles of riverfront property used to house steel. We still do the manufacturing thing. We're more than just football. We're doing big things. These things walk off these lines saying made in Aliquippa, which is a beautiful thing. But I quote Barack Obama when he said small businesses are the backbone of an economy and a cornerstone of all communities. It does my heart glad to see y'all here, to see this expansion happen. The renaissance for small communities like mine must continue. Companies like VersaTech who invest in our communities to give livable wages for working families to take care of their families. I want to thank Mr. John Pace for his vision in 2008 to come down through that tunnel and see the vision of being in Aliquippa, expanding 5 times since he purchased the property, to invest $40 million to double down on that under the new leadership of Mr. Scott Winter. You're home. You're home. I just want to thank Dr. Shapiro's administration for always having an open door, a sound ear, courage under fire to represent small communities like mine. This man knows what it is to serve small communities and what it takes. You put the money and the resources into our hands and make us do our work, make us earn our keep. That's important. I just want to make sure that you understand where you're standing right now. This is holy ground. 7.2 miles of riverfront property was here. Steel, here. Manufacturing, here. And now it's happening again. 180 people work here now. Another 80 or so are going to come back through these doors, working in Beaver County, making a livable wage in Beaver County. Not just Aliquippa, but the county. So again, this is another notch in the commissioner's belt. This is another notch in the county's belt, but it's definitely a notch in the city of Aliquippa. So I bid you welcome from LA. And this is only the beginning. We're open for business. And we will be reaching out real soon, but I just want to thank you. But I have the distinct pleasure of introducing somebody we call family. Somebody, if you pick up the phone 1 o'clock in the morning, the man will answer. Somebody who saw something in the community and said, hey, when he did the radio station, saw this was a place of hope and love and faith. Rob Matsey, when I say call 1 o'clock, he answers. If I say, Rob, I need you, he don't even say, where do you want me to be? So I have the distinct pleasure of not just calling this man my representative, but also calling him family. And he does it for anybody across this county in District 17. This is what he does. Rob Massey, I can't thank you enough for always having an ear to listen and a heart to concern what ails us and taking that to the podium no matter where you are. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of the city of Aliquippa, Beaver County. I want to thank this administration on behalf of my heart and this administration. Thank you for everything that y'all have ever done and will continue to do moving forward. Without further ado, Mr. Rob Matsey.
So I get to be the closer. Welcome to Beaver County and an early happy birthday to our governor, whose birthday is this week, by the way. 39, again. Welcome DCED Secretary Seiger, who, as he said, was here most recently in December for a glorious day when the city of Aliquippa came out of distress status, the longest city, the longest community in distress status in the Commonwealth's history. They're out because they got their house in order, thanks in large part to the leadership of the mayor. And thank you, Scott Van Winter and his team here at Versatex, for the warm welcome. When I walked in, they said, do you know Evan? I said, I know Evan. Evan's got the Queen Aliquippa pin on his collar. Well, the comeback continues here today. I've said many times before, never count out Beaver County and Western Pennsylvania. Never. Our natural resources powered the Industrial Revolution. Our steel connected a nation with rails and bridges and saved the world when molded into ships and tanks. The so-called experts started calling us the Rust Belt. We embraced it. They looked at short-term profits, not long-term stability and growth. They said we'd never adapt. They said we'd never come back. But here's the real secret. For all our incredible advantages in natural resources and location and everything else, what's always made Western Pennsylvania and the powerhouse of America is our people, our workforce, like many of those in the back, the men and women who do the jobs and build our communities. They're the ones who brought us back, and today is yet another chapter in the comeback of making products here in Pennsylvania. When we invest in companies like Versatex, we're investing in people. $2 billion in investments turns into tens of billions in stronger families, stronger communities, and an economy that works for everyone. 80 jobs added here turns into hundreds of jobs, not just vendors doing business directly and building the new facility and paving the roads in and out, but the small businesses that pop up or expand to serve the working people earning good wages. Companies like Versatex are helping people everywhere enjoy some family time outdoors after a hard day's work, with the most innovative, dependable building products anywhere that just might help cut down on 100-degree days like today with those sustainable projects. Their decking and siding can take the heat, but I know I'm fading a little bit here, so because we're here to support the entrepreneurs who believe in Western Pennsylvania and the people who call it home. Supporting and working to secure funding like this is the foundation of representing my district and our region. Having a partner like Governor Shapiro and his team who are equally committed to competing with other states and planting a flag to all who will listen that Beaver County and all of Pennsylvania is open for business. And like the governor likes to say, and something I personally and we collectively want, is to get stuff done. That's the G-rated version. This is yet another example of that continuing comeback. Governor Shapiro, Secretary Siger, we thank you. You're always welcome to Beaver County. And again, we appreciate your investment and always thinking of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Matzey. And with that, we'll take any questions that the media might have and then let you all get into some cooler surrounds. Anybody in the media or no? Paul? You're just going to have to speak up. It's okay. Continuing to work with our private sector healthcare partners out here, AHN, UPMC, and others all across the state to make sure that we fill the gaps. Some of it is going to be filled with world-class healthcare being driven out in those areas by those institutions. Some is going to be done with more remote healthcare options. Another reason why we're moving full steam ahead on filling those holes of 276,000 homes and businesses without high-speed internet, particularly in this region. That's a big, big deal for us. And making sure that we continue to work with our partners at all levels of government to draw down the resources necessary to keep those healthcare institutions going well and strong in our rural communities. It's a work in progress. It's something I recognize is a really, really significant challenge, and we're working with everybody to make sure that we address it. Anything else? I'm happy to answer your question. I literally can't hear you over the sound of manufacturing. Yeah. Yeah, I think there are real challenges with local media being hollowed out in communities, not just here in Pennsylvania, but all across America. And I say this as someone who has enjoyed some things written about me in the local paper and didn't enjoy some of it written about me in the paper. Whether it's good, bad, neutral, whatever, we need more local media. And we need more voices, whether it's print, radio, television, that people can trust. People trust their local media. And so it's something that, I worry about as things are becoming more nationalized and taken away from communities. I think it does a real disservice to the community. So that's why we've got to make sure that organizations and outfits like yours are able to continue to survive and thrive. And that's something we care a lot about in our administration. All right? Thank you. Yeah.
Place, are there discussions of encouraging younger folks to get into more blue collar work so these jobs can get filled?
Are there discussions about how to encourage more folks to get in to skills-based work where you're working with your hands? And the answer is yes. That's been a priority of mine since day one of my administration. Remember, the first executive order I signed was to do away with the college degree requirement for 92% of state government jobs. That's 67,000 jobs in Pennsylvania government that no longer require a college degree, which I viewed as just an arbitrary barrier to entry, and frankly also just really disrespectful to people who have developed skills throughout their lifetime, whether it's in a union apprentice training, whether it's in the military or any other place. We value skills. We value that experience. So that's number one, showing respect. Number two, we're investing, thanks to the bipartisan work that Marshall and Matsy and others did, we're investing more than a long time in VOTEC in our high school classrooms. We want kids in 10th grade to learn how to be a welder. We need more welders in Pennsylvania. And then we're doubling down on our investment in apprenticeship programs and graduated or certified 7,000 new apprentices last year, which is really a record for the Commonwealth. We think that skills-based initiative is critically important, not just so a company like Versatex can find the people that they need, but to make sure that our economy is going to be humming. And the way it hums is by making sure we've got people with those skills to do those jobs, especially in manufacturing. Thank you all very, very much. All right. Thanks, Mayor.
Steadfast advocate for economic development and for being part of the great Commonwealth. Please join me in welcoming Governor Josh Shapiro.
Scott, thank you. I'll give you this. I want you to stay hydrated, man. It's good to be with everybody here at Versatech and here. Let me echo my thanks to our local elected officials. You'll hear from Representative Matt. Work with these three gentlemen in times of tragedy and crisis, train derailment, and in times of opportunity like what we're here celebrating today. You got a great group working together. I wanted to come here today to salute you for calling Aliquippa home and to see you growing in the manner in which you are. Not only your building materials being used here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but all you into manufacturing making its way to homes all across Pennsylvania. Looking elsewhere for economic opportunity. I want them to know it's right here in Western PA. That's what's possible when we invest in economic development. And why my administration and the leadership with the private sector capital they bring to bear. Representative Matzey and Mayor Walker, well, they know the impact an investment like this can have. They fought for it every step of the way. That has changed on my watch. Under our new economic development plan, we're leaning heavily into manufacturing. No longer should manufacturing be something we read about in our manufacturing base here in Pennsylvania. One of the things we heard loud and clear as we were developing this strategy is that we need to develop more sites that are shovel-ready here in Pennsylvania. Everything is ready. The water, other key infrastructure is there and ready to take advantage of. Pennsylvania, well, we don't have enough of those sites, especially in communities here in Beaver County or across Pennsylvania. How do we catch up in Pennsylvania? Listen, I'm competitive as hell. I want to win. But to win, we need to invest. And to invest, we need to invest smartly and wisely. Announced funding for 7 new site projects across Pennsylvania, including 3 of them here in southwestern PA.